Hey, good morning, Fit Project Radio followers and fans. Happy Friday to you all. This is Brett coming to you live from the Naples Accelerator here in Naples, Florida at the Fit Project Radio studios. So, some of you may or may not know, but I had the distinct pleasure and honor of interviewing a sports legend and icon last night. 1972 Olympic wrestling gold medalist, Mr. Dan Gable. This guy was incredible and just such a pleasure to work with. So as I was actually editing the video last night, it kind of hit me, I really felt like I was doing it a disservice. So what I am going to play for you here is the raw, unedited, uncut interview between myself and, again, sports legend Dan Gable at the Greater Naples YMCA last night. Again, what a tremendous individual, an amazing inspiration, guys. Seriously, look this man up. He is just a wonderful, wonderful person that will always and forever continuously give back to his community. A true patriot, a love for America, and again, it was just a lot of fun. So here it is, unedited, uncut, about as raw as you can get. Myself with Fit Project Radio interviewing the one and only Olympic gold medalist, Mr. Dan Gable. I hope you enjoy it. Well, good afternoon, Fit Project Radio followers and fans. As promised, I had some incredible news, and this is it. I am sitting here live at the Greater Naples YMCA with the man, the myth, the Olympic gold medalist, Mr. Dan Gable. Sir, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today. So, as we were discussing earlier before we got in here, Fit Project Radio is designed to inspire, educate, and inform people of the different levels of health and fitness that can be attainable, in one's life. So, tell me about yourself. So, you're originally an Iowa kid.
Born and raised in Waterloo, Iowa.
Waterloo, Iowa, and then actually as you progressed through high school is when you found your love for wrestling?
I found it right away.
Right away.
Along with a lot of sports. But a lot of the reason is because I haven't had a great avenue for learning how to compete and learning how to do all kinds of different activities. And of course, one of them was learn how to swim at the YMCA and being involved in a swimming team. That was my first really competitive type of sport.
So you were a swimmer first?
Yes, I was, and I actually won the state YMCA backstroke championship. And I always say it's kind of funny because once I had to make a decision kind of which sport, because they compete at the same time in Iowa.
Okay.
And so wrestling was the bigger sport in Iowa in my area. I really kind of had to come off my back in the water because I was a backstroker, state champ, to not get put on my back. But it was definitely the right move for me. I'm not a 6'5" guy with fins, but I think I would have done all right. I mean, I did all right, but I chose the right one.
So so with you being such a high level competitor, I mean, I'm sure you've had numerous coaches. If you could think back, what was probably one of the best advice that you got from a coach, and who was it?
Well, it's probably starting right at my house.
Okay.
Just with my mom and my dad. Actually, my mom probably. My dad was just the supporter. He was always in practice.
Sure.
He barely missed a practice of any kind. And then my mom, if I wasn't doing the right things as far as being a competitor, I heard them from her.
Okay.
So it wasn't like it was it was really bad. It was actually really good. But sometimes I took it like I can't believe she's doing this to me.
Sure.
But
sure.
after I would lay down and think about it, I knew she was right. And what it was, I probably had the edge on people because I was more focused in competition than most people. But more than that, I was really focused a lot in practice. So even though my best times for swimming or for competition was always in the actual game site, I still got ready for each practice. It wasn't like I just showed up for practice and went through the practices, even at an early age. So that's why I think it started at home.
Okay.
I know it started at home. But then because the YMCA is such an early age, it was a great time for learning things that are beneficial for being older. So instead of waiting for junior high, where that's where a lot of competitive sports start, and some wait till high school, I got to learn that competitive edge right away. I think I was 4 when I started enrolled in the YMCA.
That's incredible. So that competitive edge, I want to kind of explore that a little bit more with you, because you were undefeated even when you went to Iowa State.
Yep.
And continued and just basically wrecked through tournaments. Two-time NCAA champion in wrestling, and then came your senior year, where out of your entire career you have one single loss, and it came your senior year of college, which
last match.
Your last match, the finals, NCAA finals, was the only loss of your career. Now, as a competitor, like how did that feel? I mean, going undefeated and then all of a sudden it stops.
Well, my career, we're talking about starting high school. I
Sure.
went undefeated in high school, 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay.
That's when high school started my day. And then I went undefeated in college all the way to my last match. Basically what I told you earlier about the focus on getting ready for practice, getting ready for competition, and making sure that I wasn't distracted.
Right.
You're never good enough just to take that for granted.
Okay.
What focus and what preparation and what, you can't just be doing all these other things. I mean, some people can compete better that way, but for me, I had to be focused and I had to be doing that. And so all of a sudden I took on a new role towards the end of my senior year because of all the emphasis on me going undefeated, being the only person that ever went through high school and college undefeated. One match to go. I was kind of counting my chickens before they hatched.
Sure.
And they were too. And so it threw me off. I mean, not only was I not ready for the match, but I was aware of all kinds of things during the match instead of focused on my match and not be aware of it. I mean, I know that in matches in my career that I had been like exhausted. I didn't know it though during the match. And so that's what made the difference. It was after the match when I got my hand raised and I was starting to walk off, and all of a sudden it's downtime a little bit now, and I said, I can't walk. But yet I just competed out there that whole time and with a lot of authority.
Yeah.
Because that was the focus. Well, 1 minute into my finals match, and I knew there was things going on that I had never experienced before. I was hearing people talking in the 10,000 people that were watching. I was hearing comments, yelling, screaming. I was hearing the referee talking. I was hearing my coach in the corner. I never even knew I had a coach in the corner before because I was focused on when I was supposed to win. So, you really can't take a lot of things for granted, especially when you get to a high level of competition. And for each their own, but for me, I needed that focus.
Okay, I think that's incredible. That's great advice. So now you have that one single loss, and obviously you didn't have your crystal ball, so you didn't know that was going to be your only loss. But you qualified and made it to the 1972 Olympic Games for wrestling, which is in my opinion, the highest honor an athlete could ever receive.
Especially in wrestling.
Especially in wrestling, of course, because it's one of the original sports of the Olympics.
And we don't have pro sports. We
Sure.
do have the MMA now for a few people,
Absolutely,
but that's still not just wrestling.
Sure. So, but the topic that really I found interesting about your career and about your biography was the Soviet Union was a dominating force coming into the 1972 Olympics.
And they still are.
And they still are. But from the biography that I read, that the Soviet Union actually, now please correct me if I'm wrong, called you out by name, saying, we are here to defeat Dan Gable in this Olympics. Is that true?
No, that's true. They did it in Russia after a main event, and they were just tired of losing to me. And they did it in Russian, but then the interpreter said, and I wasn't even sure what they said, but then through the interpreter, right before I left the country to go back home, which was still 4 or 5 months away from the Olympic Games,
Sure.
that gave me an extra spark. So you talk about focus and the ability to even improve more. So I was able to take that on and realize, hey, I know they're after me, and they're searching, and that's going to give me a chance to be every day more on top of things. So no matter, even if I already was at a high level, little things in life can make you go to even a higher level.
Absolutely.
And so something like that. They vowed to beat me, and the Russian got to the finals, but he didn't beat me.
And he didn't beat you, and you won the...
He didn't score a point.
And he didn't even score a point. That's the best part I love about that story, is that not even a point was scored. So, so this amazing career, gold medal Olympian, and then you go into coaching, and you were one of the top coaches in collegiate wrestling, right? With a record of...
I've won 15 national titles.
There
I
you go.
think the second one is 6 or 7 or 8.
So
they got a ways to go.
Yeah, you got a little bit of a gap there.
That's incentive. You always have to have that guy on top
Absolutely.
to shoot for.
Absolutely.
And I'd love to see somebody get there.
So now, you've learned from the home, took your sport to the highest level possible, and became very successful at it. And now you are able to educate your gifts and talents to youths. What does that mean for you to be able to know that what you've sacrificed and dedicated your life for is now being taught to youths, which is the main reason why we're here at the Greater Naples YMCA anyway?
Well, for me, people ask me, you won that gold medal, that's got to be the highest honor. From a competitive point of view, yeah, it might be. But really, from a competitive point of view, with my entire career, I really found that coaching champions meant more to me. And the reason why that's the case is because it's not me.
Yeah.
I don't have that kind of control over them like I do on me. And when you get somebody else to be able to go to the highest level, whether it win the NCAAs or when they go to the Olympic Championships and win another Olympic gold medal, which we've had several that I've coached, it's like that's true meaning. It's like, once you get your kids into the sport, and if it's your own kid, it's like it can tear you up, if they're not doing well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
so I had so many things that caused me to lose my control almost of being excited. Whereas as an athlete, they called me the guy that never smiled. And every time I got my hand raised, which was almost always, it was just...
Except for one time.
Except for it was routine. They didn't see this expression like, is this guy happy? Well, it's not on my face, but it's inside of me. But when I became a coach, and when those guys got their hand raised when at the championship level, or somebody was in there that really wasn't supposed to win and won, wow, I couldn't control myself. I jumped for joy.
That's incredible. Well, Mr. Gable, I have to tell you, thank you so very much for your time, sir. It's an absolute honor to meet you. And again, we are
great. It's great to be here at the Naples Y. But here's the thing: I'm here for a reason, to promote the sport again.
Absolutely.
And the main reason is that they need a competition wrestling mat here because they have a wrestling room now.
Sure.
And it's named after me, but they want to take it to one step further to be able to actually host events here, and they need some place to hold that mat. It's called a mat hoist.
Yeah,
so that's what we're doing here now. We're trying to I'm trying to promote the future. So it's a new mat and a mat hoist. That's what we're trying to come out of this.
And I think I'm so glad you brought that up because again here at at the Greater Naples YMCA, I know I've brought this to you guys before, but this place is just so much more than what people understand as a health, wellness, and fitness facility. It's growing into a multifaceted, multifunctional athletic wellness facility that is just honestly reinventing the motto of building strong kids, strong families, and strong communities. So again, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure with Mr. Dan Gable, Olympic gold medalist, one of the winningest wrestling coach in collegiate history here at the Greater Naples YMCA. Guys, as always, this is Brett with Fit Project Radio. You can listen to us live every Sunday morning on 99.3 ESPN. Once again, brought to you by Link to Fitness and the Greater Naples YMCA. We'll see you again soon. Bye.